it's a bit on the slower side also. But I don't want to take anything away from our bowlers. I believe we hit our lengths and everything perfect. And the other side, maybe they bowl a little bit bad, I would say.
Okay.
Shafazul from Next TV. Keep mentioning about your bowlers. At halftime, when you were chasing, you knew that you were chasing 170 with this pitch being used for the third day. At that time, did you think it's going to be that easy for you guys to run home in like 12, 13 overs? What were your thoughts?
I wasn't worried. I know once I stay in the wicket, I'm always a positive player. So once the ball is in my arc, I will make use of it. So I wasn't worried. The other guy on the other end, he was actually easing the pressure off me. So, and we had wickets, a lot of wickets in hand. So I know if watching the first two games, they scored over 200. So it was actually a low total. So it wasn't anything for us to panic about.
Okay.
Shahid, you joined the team. How is his condition? Is he fully fit to the bat?
Well, he bowled. I never heard him complain, so I believe he's fit and ready to go.
How was when it started? We brought you up to a fantastic start. Sometimes as a hooker, what was your instinct as an aggressive hooker to play shots with him, or was it?
Well, I'm naturally an aggressive player, but the way Luke played, it was good to actually be on the other end. I'm looking at him, so I got some time to actually assess the wicket also. And see what's the right shots to play. So, as I said, he played well. It's good that he got us to that start, and it was easier for me.
Okay. You play with Jockey at Islamabad United too, and he's been on great form since then. What do you think he's doing that you can see from the other end? Is he putting so much pressure on the batsman, making your job easy, I think?
Well, he's an exceptional player, as I said. He can hit the ball all around the ground, and any batsman who can do that is a dangerous batsman. So I think he's doing the basic as often as possible correctly. So that's what I believe is working for him, and we just have to learn from it.
So Fletcher, what's the game plan in the future? So igniting the memories of Islamabad United, you and Jockey as becoming the right pair for the rest of the teams in the Super League, and same the combo is going to work like the same?
Well, actually, I didn't play for Islamabad. I played for Peshawar. Luke played for.
I mean the Jockey from the Islamabad. So you both of you, the best team, the Zalmis and the United. So reigniting some memories.
It was a great tournament. I strongly believe we could have won the finals against them, but it was unfortunate. Hopefully next season we can end up in the finals. It doesn't matter who team we're playing, and once we win the tournament, that's important.
How was today playing against the skipper?
It's a good feeling, and it's even better when you win. So because he's a captain that wins a lot. So it's good when you play against him and you beat him. So it's just that we have to continue and not just win one game, but win all the games that we can, and ensure that we win the tournament also.
Okay, that's it. One more.
My name is Anchorperson Based with the local TV station, Asian Television Network. I just want to keep this line. First of all, congratulations on flying off as the best Indian on this guy. I love seeing you play.
Thanks.
Fan, all that kind of stuff. So I enjoy it. I'm with you all the way. And so to keep this light, I just want to go back to when you play against him. What happens? You guys still, have a little knock here and there with each other. When you hit him as hard as you did, you go down the wicket and say, "Hey, guys, you see that one?" What's the relationship?
But Keswick and I, we are good friends, very, very good friends. He's a good guy. It's just that today he didn't execute as well as he should, and I wish him all the best for the other games.
So you have a good laugh afterwards when you get in?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Hello to everyone, another episode of Match Point by Dr. Adnan, and we are in the day number 3, and today a big one for the Toronto because we are towards the double header. Yes, 2 matches would have been the part of the play game today. The first game that was being played, and right now it's been finished some moments before, that was between the winner team of the day one, Toronto Nationals, and the newcomers Edmonton Royals, where Lala was there and lot of Pakistani breed was there in the Edmonton Royals. So big day for the semi to face them. So the start of the game, as we know and as I told you in the previous games on the match point, and that the general strategy, as we have seen, that there is no depth in the wicket. There is, I mean, there's full-fledged plain batting wicket, and there is no room for the bowling, no help for the bowlers. And as according to the schedule, every captain is trying to chase. So same did Sammy once again, but this time the formula didn't work out. Yes, Darren Sammy tried out and that he will make some things possible for the Toronto Nationals, but nothing happened. But actually the toss was won by Edmonton Royals, and he did the same what Sammy did in the game one at the day number one. They put Toronto Nationals to the bat, and Toronto Nationals this time when came Johnson Charles, wicketkeeper, on the 5, and then Nazakat Khan 0, caught Ronki, bowled Tanveer, and Sohail Tanveer has started the action over here in the North America. So lot of his fans over here were enjoying his bowling, the Pakistani pacer. So Toronto Nationals got the trouble right in the beginning after the poor start, and then came the Steve Smith, who was the hero in that match on the day one. But Steve Smith was caught by Hassan Khan and bowled by Dindsa. Hassan Khan, the Quota Gladiator sensation, winning with a 6, then ultimately happened to be a villain in for the Quota Gladiators in the playoffs. So this time we have seen the Edmonton Royals that most of the Pakistanis, whether the pacers, whether the bowlers, whether the fielders, they over-flooded the match, and everywhere they were in the ground today with the Edmonton Royals. Davidge, who was the man of the match and he was hero that day, only bowled by the Purnell for the 13, and he couldn't make much. Karen Pollard 28. The big partnership happened over here down the track at the number 5 and number 6, and the big knock came from the Canadian captain Nitish Kumar. Good day for him. Yesterday we saw blooming and blossoming the Junaid Siddiqui, Ryan Pathan, Ali Khan, lot of youngsters, and today another Canadian, Nitish Kumar, we saw with a 55 on mere 37 balls. He was the pick for the Toronto National scorecard, and if he would not have scored, might be the score would have been less than 150 and would not have reached. And later on, Darren Sammy was bowled by Hassan Khan on 19, the traditional rivals Gladiators versus Zalmi, and down the order Mohammad Naveed was not out on the 26. So Nikhil Datta was also not out on 4. So extras 9, and total was 169 for the loss of 7 wickets. So who didn't bat? Mohammad Sami and Kashrik Williams couldn't bat, and the 20 overs quota they have finished, and now the Edmonton Royals for a chase. So we will come right after a short break. You are watching Match Point by Dr. Adnan. So welcome back after the break. I was telling you about the day number 3, Match Point by Dr. Adnan, and we are into the double headers. We are waiting for the second game between the Montreal Tigers and the Cricket West Indies Team B. The first game of the day on the day number 3, first game of the double header was won by the Edmonton Royals. So I was telling you about the batting of the Toronto Nationals, the heroes on the day number 1, who collapsed like the zeros. While telling you, I was telling you about their bowling. So Sohail Tanveer, Mohammad Irfan, Shahid Afridi, Hassan Khan, each drawing 1 wicket each. But the pick of the bowlers was Wayne Parnell with 3 overs, 24 runs and 2 wickets he got. He took the 2 wickets, but he was way too expensive to control their team. But ultimately, everything was end as well. So Toronto National couldn't touch the triple figure of 200. So they took a sigh of relief. So they went to a chase, and then how you can forget the man on fire? Who is the man on fire? Luke Ronchi from Islamabad United, the New Zealander Kiwi. he is the man to watch. He is the man to follow. Luke Ronchi, wicketkeeper, caught Nikhil Dutta, bowled Williams. He made the brisk 47. Would you believe he took 18 balls? That was the masterpiece of the innings. And then he left nothing for the rest of the players to do. So lot of effort from him. And Andre Fletcher was not out on 68, and he remained the man of the match for his brisk inning. But this damage, initial damage done by the Fletcher, Peshawar Zalmi and the Luke Ronchi, Islamabad United. So both Zalmis and United of the PSL doing the damage for the Toronto Nationals. And Andre Fletcher was very cruel against his previous skipper Sami, and ultimately cruising and Agha Salman, whom you would have been seeing in the Pakistan Super League in Lahore Qalandar, caught Nazakat Khan, bowled Pollard on 38, but at that time game would have been taken away from the Toronto Nationals, and game was in their favor. So ultimately Abraj Khan, Shahid Khan Afridi, Sohail Tanveer, Mohammad Irfan, Hassan Khan, Wayne Parnell couldn't bat. Lot of public here wanted to see Lala the Boom Boom, but he couldn't bat today, and we couldn't see that whether how many times he will throw the ball out of this ground. So we will see in the next match. So again, I'm just making it short by telling you who have joined right now, a match point by Dr. Adnan, that Edmonton Royals have beaten Toronto Nationals, the day one victorious team, by the 8 wickets, huge margin, and they have told, we have come mates. They have announced their entry in the Global T20 Canada, and right now we are going to see the opener of the second game of the double header, which will be between the Montreal Tigers, Latish Malanga versus the Cricket West Indies B team.
Thanks for inviting me to this conference. I thought today we had a pretty solid game. After we had a shaky start, but we managed to pull it back pretty well, and it became easier for us at the back end of the bowling.
Okay, so question? Just start off with your media organization and where you're from.
This is Umar from West Coast. So you were part of the West Indies winning squad, and you took West Indies into the final by hitting 62 runs against Bangladesh
Yes.
in a thrilling semi-final. And today, like in between 17th to 19th level, you lost 3 wickets in 9 balls. So what was going in your mind, like this batting talent?
But I always had trust in my teammates. I always had trust in myself as well. But I just played it as I saw it, and I just did what was needed to be done in that moment of time.
Okay, next question. Collins?
What was the tactics with Coach Bramble in deciding to open with himself? And when you guys were in the dressing room watching Nicholas and Bramble, how comfortable were you that they were taking up?
Well, for Bramble, he's not really a natural opener. He was just put there, and that was good that he showed the maturity and he went out there to bat. But after we saw the first 2 overs, we felt pretty confident that we could get the total. Just needed to maintain a good run rate, and we knew we could have come close and even win.
Talk to me about the bowling innings. Obviously, Wayne's been the sun, the right, progressive movement started well, but you guys, the bowling came back very well. Restricted. How proud of you from the team as a bowling?
I'm pretty happy because two of those guys played IPL for a number of years. So for us to really rope them back in was a good effort, in my opinion. So just cheers to the bowlers. And the ground is pretty small, so I would say like 8 runs are over, maybe 9. Okay. But yeah.
Yeah, this is Shah Faisal from Next TV.
Pardon?
Shah
Oh, yeah.
Faisal is my name, from Next TV in the United States. Okay, this is the 4th game on this pitch. So at the halftime when you went in and you knew you were going to chase 184. What was the talk at that time? Did you not think they had like good spinners in Narayan and Sandy? What was the thought that how the wickets going to play? And how comfortable were you chasing 184?
Well, to be honest, we know it's a small field, so we have the guys that have the ability to hit sixes. So we weren't really focusing on those bowlers. We were rather focusing on our strengths. And I think that's our biggest asset, just focusing on ourselves and just don't play any names. Because we're here to prove a point.
atmosphere?
To be honest, I was a bit more nervous because there's no restrictions on overseas players. So it's basically we are playing against like the best international players in the world. So I think it's a good competition. It has lots of talent in it, and I can see it going very far, and I hope to be a part of it in the near future.
Hello, I'm Dr. ADNAN Khan from Matchpoint, Dubai and Canada.
Yeah.
So when you people were on the toss and Montreal Tigers decided to bat, was it a surprise for you that in this T20 league so far, this was not a surprise decision? That you didn't want to chase?
Not really, because when we checked the stats, we realized that the teams that we're chasing were coming out on top more often than not. So we were pretty comfortable because we wanted to bowl first either way.
And then Puran was, when he was playing, it reminded me of his innings in the first CPL. He was very brutal against Narayan.
Yeah.
So might be I thought that Narayan would have been under pressure at that time. Could have been the memories of that man against him.
It could have been, but cricket plays on the day, so and there's a different surface out there to compare with back in Guyana where it was. So he just went out there and did his thing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Once again, against Narayan and Malinga, you guys scored around 38 runs in 8 overs. So it means that you got 150 runs in the other 12 overs. Was it a plan, or it's just like you went with the flow?
Yeah. Against Narayan, we wanted to play it safe as possible, just get ones and twos and take limited risks. Against Malinga as well, we knew he was going to be a major factor, and his slow balls were a bit deceiving, so we just played it by ear and we just saw it through.
Have you been given a role, a particular role in the batting lineup? Like today you batted at number 6, so can you consider like you will be the face of our extended?
Not really. It could fluctuate. We could go up and down. We could change, but I don't think that I am positioned there for the whole tournament. I could drop, or I could go up 1 or 2.
Last question. So the guys who don't end up really familiar with the team, tell us about the likes of Brandon.
Puran, he's a very good young talent. He's one for the future, as well as Brandon King. Puran he has over 50 2020 games already. He played in IPL, well, he was in IPL, Bangladesh Premier League, CPL, so he has a lot of experience for his young age. Brandon, he plays with the St. Kitts and even Patriots, and he plays a couple games at home. He got some scores last year, so he's one to watch as well. I don't want to say too much.
Last question?
Sayed from
Pardon?
Smiling Sayed from
Yeah.
What would be your next strategy that will depend on the what your thing in your mind and opted to play here? It's in a play which can be game changer.
For myself, I would just like to do as well as I can every game and just do whatever the team needs at that moment, and just again, I can't stress enough on playing for the team. As long as we win, I'm happy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello to everyone, another exciting day and exciting episode of Matchpoint by Dr. ADNAN, and we got into the last over. So the most sensational match until now in the global T20 cricket league, and you are watching Matchpoint by Dr. ADNAN exclusively on eAwaaz. Yes, a great match, and which was underrated because of the Cricket West Indies B team, but who knows, that would not be a B team and they will make Montreal Tigers on the back foot and make them the B team. Latish Malinga and Tom Moody's team is struggling right now, and who knows, they could have been out of the tournament. Montreal Tigers, 2 days, 2 losses, not a good day for them. As I told you, is a holiday. Now today it was a double header, and the second match in which the Cricket West Indies, while chasing, they won the match. But earlier I want to tell you that this was the first ever game right now in the global T20 in which the toss winning captain, he didn't choose to field, because so far we have seen until a lot of matches have been played from the day one when the Darren Sammy of the Toronto Nationals and lot of other captains, after winning the toss, they put other team into the bat, and they preferred to chase on this dry, bad, pure batting wicket, and none of them wanted to bat first on this wicket. But to our greatest surprise, this time when Cricket West Indies B team and Montreal Tigers was playing their second game in the on the third day, and for them it was the second game in the 2 days, they, after winning the toss, decided to bat. And but what they decided to bat was, the dream was not fulfilled, and ultimately chased in the last over by the Cricket West Indies B team. A terrific game of cricket, but I want to tell you the details that the Montreal Tigers, when started the game, Sunil Narayan, he made the 28. The wickets were falling at the regular intervals. They at any time we didn't see that they were breathing easily. They were not giving them the place. Even them, Sikandar Raza was hitting down the innings. He started to hit them, and lot of other players. Brian Smith, he made 16. George Worker was out on the 4, and then Moshes Hendricks came. He made a brilliant 26, a brisk 26 on the 15, and then Sikandar Raza, the Zimbabwe players, Pakistani-born Zimbabwe players, he made 47 on 37 balls. So after Sikandar Raza, there is a Danesh Ramdeen, the wicketkeeper, making 17. ADNAN Khan Pathan 11, and then Ashley Nurse 10, but it was not enough, and extras, Mr. Extras was 2-2. A little bit more for the Cricket West Indies. They will have to figure out this thing. So 22 extras they have given, and the total for the 9 wickets in the 20 overs, the score they made Montreal Tigers was 183. So the target given to the Cricket West Indies was 184, which was seemingly not very easy for the Cricket West Indies, and we thought that might be they would have been collapsing in the middle of the innings. But the very gentle start, and then a slow start, sluggish start, and then building up the innings, and this was what they did it. But first of all, I just want to tell you that after the batting was finished for the Montreal Tigers, who was the pick of the wickets? Jeremy Lewis, he was the pick of the wickets with 3 wickets. He finished his quota of 4 overs, and then the 3 wickets each for the Obed McCoy and the Jeremy Lewis. So 3 wickets both of them have taken, and the pair grabbing the 2 wickets at the end, making the total 184 chaseable for their team, Cricket B West Indies. So Cricket West Indies, when came into bat, usually we were expecting that they will be having a very tough time by the Sunil Narayan, Latish Malanga, the deadly Yorker man, and along with the Peter Siddle. But something strange happened. Right as what we expected, they were put in the trouble right in the beginning, where Anthony Bramall, the wicketkeeper, he was caught by the wicketkeeper LBW by Siddle in the very beginning without troubling the scorer on the 0. But then Rutherford came for the 22, but the one who crafted the innings and took the match away from the Montreal Tigers, Latish Malanga and Tom Moody team, he was the Brendan King and Nicholas Pooran, who was later adjudged man of the match for his brilliant 58 on 35 runs. He was caught by Ryan Pathan, bowled Siddle, and Brendan King was caught by Ashley Nurse and bowled by Worker. And later on in the innings, when they were out, Shamar Springer made the bricks 27 on the 18 balls, and on the last over, when the last over was bowled from Montreal Tigers, only 4 runs were needed, and on the very first ball, a straight 6 had been hit. If we can see down the track, if you can see towards that end, which is opposite to the pavilion, you can see the screen. A great 6 landed over those trees and finishing the match in the style. So the thing for my surprise was Nicholas Pooran. I will tell you some of the old history of Nicholas Pooran, but let me tell you first of all how they bowled Montreal Tigers. Montreal Tigers, Peter Siddle, he has thrown 3 overs, and he was quite expensive with the 33 runs, but he has taken the 2 wickets. Latish Malanga 4 overs, 32 runs and 2 wickets. Ashley Nurse 2 overs, 23 runs, and he couldn't grab any wicket, while Sandeep and George Worker took the 1 wicket each. So at the end of the time, when I was telling you about the Nicholas Pooran. So Nicholas Pooran is a dark horse. If you remember this guy very well, he played against Pakistan in Abu Dhabi. Last time when he played against, that was against Pakistan, and the year was 2016 when the West Indies, the touring West Indian team came over there and they lost to the Pakistan, but he played against Pakistan and very brilliantly he played, also crafted the innings. Nicholas Pooran is blossoming day by day. Some of the cricket West Indies players who have not got a chance to come back in the team, but they were brilliant in their innings in their teams, and especially in the CPL when they were playing. Basically this guy is a Trinidadian, so a born batsman like a Brian Charles Lara. So according to a Trinidadian, it was nothing new for him to have a batting heroics from his bat. So this guy Nicholas Pooran, when there was a first CPL, Caribbean Premier League, so might be you guys remember, he was playing from the Trinidad Tobago and against the crucial match, crunch match against Guyana Amazon Warriors, he hit Sunil Narayan like anything around the ground. Sunil Narayan couldn't breathe in between. Sunil Narayan tried everything out on the pitch, but this guy Pooran gave him so hard time and he was so harsh to him. Later on, when the West Indian team went to the Sydney for the Australia to play against the Australian team and against the Aussies, this guy gave lot of resistance to the Aussies, and in one match he made 114 also, but ultimately Australia winning the match in style, and he couldn't match the beauty of Aussies. But the Nicholas Pooran, what I was telling you, the beauty of this guy, what I have seen, he crafts the innings. When I say he crafts the innings, it means he is my MSD. I mean Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, what is his beauty? Mahendra Singh Dhoni comes in the difficult times. He used to come for the Indian team in the middle overs when India was struggling or reeling for 50 for 6 or 50 for 5. Then he was crafting the innings, and after he finished crafting the innings, and then Mahendra Singh Dhoni never got out in the middle and never leaving their boat in the danger in the middle of the sea, and then executing Indian team and then punishing the bowler, and then after crafting the innings becoming stable and then hitting the deadly straight sixes and finishing the game in the executive style and the signature style 6. This guy Nicholas Pooran is almost the identical copy of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, but unfortunately he couldn't get a chance that much along with the West Indian team. So this was it from here, from the Maple Leaf Cricket Ground on the day 3 where the double header was played. So again I remind you in this program that the first match which was played between the Edmonton Royals and the Shahid Khan Afridi and lot of Pakistani players. So Edmonton Royals and the other team, the Toronto Nationals, who were victorious on the day 1 with the Darren Sammy and the Steve Smith returning to the international cricket. So first match there was a huge upset when Edmonton Royals single-handedly destroyed Toronto Nationals by 8 wickets, as you have seen in the previous episode, and the latest from the King City, north of Toronto, where we are right now. The latest feeds are right now that Cricket West Indies B team has beaten Montreal Tigers on the day 3 second game. So Montreal Tigers having the 2 losses, Cricket B West Indies and Edmonton Royals having the 1 game each and the 1 win each. While the Winnipeg Hawks and the Toronto Nationals, Winnipeg Hawks having the 1 game and the 1 win, while the Toronto Nationals having the 2 games, 1 game they got the victory and the other game they were defeated. So this is it from the match point, and tomorrow when I will come there will be another double header and we will show you some exciting finishes for the match. So tomorrow again it will be a double header. 2 games will be played in the Maple Leaf Cricket Ground, and 2 games would be very exciting, and the 2 same teams will be seen tomorrow also in action, but against the different opposition. So tomorrow big crowd is expected as there is a holiday, and again to see Shahid Khan Afridi and lot of Pakistani stars in the Edmonton Royals. So we are believing tomorrow again a huge crowd. So the first game will be between the Vancouver Knights and the Winnipeg Hawks. The 2 teams will be up on front on front against each other, and we will see that can Vancouver Knights, the Chris Gale team, can do some magic tomorrow tomorrow or not. And Winnipeg Hawks, we need to see that David Warner and the Winnipegs, they can maintain their momentum, winning momentum or not. And the second game should have been, I hope so, it will be very interesting between the two winners of today. The first team was winner today was the Edmonton Royals, and the second team was the Cricket West Indies. So the second double header which will be played tomorrow, it will be between the Cricket West Indies B team and between the Edmonton Royals. So that's it from here, nothing more to tell you. So when I will come tomorrow with a New Zealand zest on Match Point, I will bring you the fresh updates that what's going on, who is in, who is out, and what Pakistani stars are doing over here and how they are shining in their respective teams. Till then, time for me, along with my team, Zishan Ahmed, Dr. Anchorperson Khan, Ahmed Ahmed, I say you goodbye from Maple Leaf Cricket Ground. Till tomorrow, say you bye-bye.